everybody, it's Joy with joyslife.com, and today we're going to work with the Cricut gel pens, and I'm going to use one of the colors from the regular and neon pack. I think I'm going to go with the black. I like that one and it's somewhere in there. Anyway, we'll get it out in a bit. But I'm also going to be using the Sizzix Eclips, and this is the holder for it. So we'll be putting this into the Eclipse in just a bit. In the meantime, what I've done is to begin importing an image from Lettering Delights. I'm using the Rustic Sketches set, and I think what we're going to do is import this barn. That's pretty cool looking. There's a cow skull, boots, a rooster. I love that one. Now, I did a card with the rooster for my friends at Cri-Kits, and if you see them in their booth, they have it. Go to their little inspiration wall and you can check it out. It's a cool card, and I'll link to it on joyslife.com. I think you'll like that one. It's really neat. Here we are with a wheelbarrow, which is neat too. Maybe we should do the wheelbarrow. I don't know. I think I've done that one before, even though you guys didn't see it. I gave it to somebody. Forget it. Let's do the barn. Okay. Barn will hit import. Isn't that cool? So what's really neat about the Cricut gel pens is that they are going to draw this image. Here I'm just dragging it, but they're going to draw this image instead of cutting it out. So you can use Cricut cartridges, you can use different machines, but today, again, I said we're going to use the Sizzix Eclips, and so that's what I'll be using, but it works with the Cricut and the Silhouette Cameo. So let's get started. I'm going to size this. I'm not sure what size I'm going to do this. I thought about putting it in a picture frame, but let's just get started with it and I'll figure that part out. All right, let me set up my machine. Now I've got out my Sizzix Eclips, and what we're going to do is just remove the blade. It's very simple. You just unscrew it and pull the blade right out. So now all we have to do is take our Cricut gel pen blade, and we're going to take, I took the black pen out of the box, so I'm just going to pull the lid off of it. And you see the pen has a tiny little bearing down in the bottom of it, which allows it to attach to the magnet that's inside the holder. So it'll just hold our pen like that. We just drop it in and see it's all in there real well. Now all we're going to do is drop it in the holder, and normally I like to put a little piece of paper under there so I don't draw on everything. I suggest you use a little post-it note or something like that to stick under there. That way your pen won't accidentally write on your machine. Now we're just going to tighten it up a tad. So just screw that in just a bit, and it's in there real well, and it's ready to write. All I have to do is insert my mat. And inserting the mat in these machines is very simple. You actually just push a button on the right hand side of the machine and it's loaded. So let's go ahead and get back to the computer, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Alright, now we're back to the computer, and I'm going to choose the cutter button and then cut with Sizzix Eclips. And now, let me drag this up so you can see it. I'm going to, I've already got the pen chosen from the holder, what kind of holder I'm going to use. I do have draw cut lines clicked, and I'm going to leave everything else like it is, and then we'll click draw. There we go with this insert pen box. Okay, so I can choose from marker, ballpoint pen, or glue. I'm going to choose ballpoint because that is the closest to what I'm using the gel pens. So then we'll click OK. And then it'll get started cutting, or drawing in this case. Alright, let's go see what it's doing. Okay, here's the Eclipse, and it's already drawing our image. So this will take a while because it's a very complex picture of the barn. So we won't watch the entire thing, but I'll come back to it and we'll check it out and see how it's doing. Let's zoom in and take a look though. So there it is, drawing all those little details. This is really amazing to me because, you know, it's one thing to draw something really cute that you can use on a card, which is really nice, but it's another thing to actually make artwork that you can put up in your house or give to somebody as a gift. And I don't know about you, but I'm not much of an artist, so having the machines draw for me is really a treat. All right, we're moving along. Let's see, it's doing pretty well. Now we're doing the grass. And you know what's impressive about this is when it finishes and it signs the author's name or the artist's name, it really looks like their name has been written on there in their own hand, which is such a nice touch. It's great that this artist decided to offer these things up for Lettering Delights to be used like this, I think. So look at that, it's doing pretty amazing. I think we're gonna love it. Wow. Every time I see this, I'm just stunned. Anytime I can draw something and I don't actually have to draw it myself, using the machine, using the Cricut pens, it just amazes me. So again, I'm using the Cricut gel pens, and these are for the Cricut machine, also for the Sizzix Eclips and the Cameo. You can use all those. They make different holders. So this is the Eclipse, and that's the holder for the Eclipse machine. Now, like I said, they've got one for the Cricut, and I've used it in that. I've got some videos on that. But look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look, see what I told you about the artist's name? Let me zoom out a bit. Amazing. Look at that detail. That is astounding, really. Alright, you guys, now I need to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I think I want to frame it, honestly. I'm going to look around and see if I can find a frame. Let's see what I can come up with to do with this gorgeous barn. Well, as it turned out, I did have a frame. So I've got this little inexpensive black frame. I'm sure I probably picked it up at Walmart or someplace like that. So I'm just going to take out the glass, which I haven't cleaned yet. Ooh, how grody. Okay, so let me wipe that off just a bit. And I've actually got pledge on my thing because I was trying to clean off that frame a little bit. So that's not the best glass cleaner in the world, but it will get some of the dust off, hopefully. Okay, I'm really gonna have to use some Windex. Anyway, what we're gonna do is just lay that right down over the picture, and then I'm just gonna use my craft blade, and I like this one by Fiskars. I always say I'm using an X-Acto, but I don't. I actually use the Fiskars blade. I prefer it. So we'll just lay this down and try not to move it. I'm going to make it just right. You know what? I kind of wish when I'd drawn this that I'd moved the picture down just a little bit more, because it would be nice to have a little more room at the top. Because, let's see, that'll be okay, I think, but wouldn't it be nicer if I'd moved it up a little? Oh well, we're going to have to deal with what we have. So here we go. That's my hand sticking to the mat. So all we're going to do now, let's move the glass. Even if I didn't cut it all the way through, at least I have a guide. I can't seem to pick it up. At least I have a little bit of a guide, but it looks like I cut all the way through. Now here again, I'm just using that inexpensive wassail, I guess that's how you pronounce it, paper to cut on. I kind of, I could have used a more expensive one for something this pretty, but I just used what I had. I like this paper. It does a good job. And to be honest, it is just pen and paper that we're using for these drawings. So why spend any more money? I mean, we're already saving so much and we're getting a great result. So, that's kind of the beauty of it. You just use what you already have. Well, you have to have the Cricut gel pens, but beyond that, you really don't need much. You need the pens and some paper. You know what? I'm going to go get my little spatula to lift this up. I want to be very careful with it so I don't bend it. I have a Cricut spatula here, and I'm just using it to help me sort of keep parts of it flat while I pull up. That way I don't make any unnecessary bends in it. You can use this spatula for a lot of things. It doesn't have to be the Cricut brand. If you have another one, they all work the same. All right, look at that. Yay. It sounded like I ripped it, but I didn't. Don't panic. Look at that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. And I'll just trim these edges. Or not. Maybe it's not necessary. Let's go ahead and put it in the frame. Put our not totally clean. Okay, cleaning it on a shirt. I'm a mom. I can clean things on my shirt and they'll be perfectly fine. Right? It's like the mom way. At least I didn't spit on it, you guys. Okay. Spit shine like a mom does. Look at that. Beautimous. Ignore this. It's a problem with the frame. I don't think it's dirt. Okay. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. So now we just need to put the back on it. And I don't really know why this frame has all these things on it. My hands aren't gooey or anything, but oh, that's from the pledge. Yeah, the pledge made some marks on it. Whatever. We're going to ignore them. And frankly, you know, I'm thinking about painting this frame anyway. I've got a lot of paint around here. Frame, you're embarrassing me. Get in there. Okay, I fought with it off camera and look, ta-da! Got it in there. Woohoo! Isn't that pretty? Well, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it, and I hope you'll check out the Cricut gel pens. In the meantime, come and see me at joyslife.com. Bye!